Yesterday we got the news that Q4 GDP grew 0.8%, which was about the market expectation. And there were some very encouraging signs in the numbers. First up, we saw that businesses have started to rebuild inventories, so that has contributed to quite a strong surge in manufacturing activity. We also saw agriculture contribute as well. Milk production was up in the last quarter of last year. However, I'm sure we'll see with the drought this year that there'll be a bit of a tapering off in that. Now, one really good development was the fact that we saw business investment start to pick up quite sharply over the quarter, so particularly plant and machinery and transport equipment. So what that is telling us is that businesses are at that point where they're starting to look forward at their future needs and make those decisions now. So that bodes pretty well for the recovery. Going forward over this year, we expect to see broadly similar sorts of growth rates. So we are in that recovery phase where a number of industries are progressively starting to get back on their feet again, and that will help support growth going forward over this year. The New Zealand dollar is up fractionally overnight. Although we didn't see much reaction to the GDP release yesterday, there have been a few slight gains overnight. The Kiwi's up to around 53 against the euro. The euro itself didn't actually get much of a boost out of those positive comments or developments overnight. In fact, actually the euro got knocked back a bit at the talk of the IMF coming in, as people at the ECB don't see that as a wholly positive move. Against the pound, we saw some retail sales figures come out, and what got the market focused was a few revisions to the January figures. So that actually saw the pound weaken quite substantially. So the flip side of that is we've now seen the Kiwi dollar edge up to about 47.50 against the pound. So from the point of view of exporters here, that's sort of not very helpful at all. Overnight, there are a couple of developments that are positive for Greece. First is there's more talk about the IMF getting involved in helping Greece out. Second, the ECB has made life a little bit easier for the Greek government. They have decided to not raise the minimum security rating or credit rating for the collateral that they are prepared to accept from banks. So they're going to leave that minimum credit rating at BBB instead of raising it to A-. So that means that banks will be that much more happier about holding Greek bonds, as they're less likely to get ineligible as a security if the Greek government gets further downgrades. Elsewhere in the US, Ben Bernanke was testifying again, and he's reiterated the message that interest rates are likely to remain on hold for some time. So that move and a few good positive profit announcements from firms meant that the Dow Jones had a pretty good night. So we've seen the Dow Jones push up above 10,900, so it's not far above that 11,000 mark now.